Hey guys, this is Irie StarCraft, and I'm back to cast one more 2v2 tonight before I have to head out here. And this game will be on Tarsonis Assault, except this time it will be Panerai, the red Zerg, and his partner will be Power, the blue Terran, and their opponents will be LaTeGaMe, the purple Terran, and EarLyGaMe, the teal Zerg. Now, I've not seen a game before with LaTeGaMe and EarLyGaMe, but the word on the street is that they are actually some other top-notch players, and these are either their new names or their alternate accounts, or maybe I'm just completely out of the loop and haven't heard of them yet, but I know they are good. And obviously Panerai and Power are top-notch as well, so I'm looking forward to an exciting match. Interesting that this scouting SCV from LaTeGaMe is coming around the side. Oh, and here comes the shenanigans. LaTeGaMe throwing down the proxy barracks over here on the high ground, so there would be a very small chance of this getting scouted. This will be very interesting, very, very quick, as it looks like Power getting that quick refinery down actually before even going for his barracks, so we were probably going to be seeing a 1-1-1 build out of Power, as here goes his first barracks at the front wall. And meanwhile Panerai is spawning pool nearing completion, and his overlord coming out, so he will be able to make a bunch of Zerglings very quickly, sending out the scouting overlord. And this proxy barracks is going to be getting a tech lab, so we are probably going to see Reapers, some proxy Reapers coming out, and that is an old school strategy nowadays, well, relatively old school in the StarCraft 2 time scale, as ever since they didn't, I mean, yeah, they nerfed the Reapers. Basically they said that you can't get Reaper speed until you get a factory, which really hurt sort of the mass Reaper rush. But the Zerglings will be engaging here in the middle, and it looks like Panerai with the superior. Ooh, I guess he didn't have a superior number. Maybe I just can't count. That's probably more likely. But either way, I want to see, is the Reaper out yet? The Reaper is about to be finished, and this is interesting because it's been a long time since I've seen someone go for a proxy Reaper rush, and Reaper jumping right into the main of Power, and ooh, he's going to be in a bit of trouble here. This Reaper is going to kill all these building SCVs. He's going to just doing work right now, this Reaper is. All these even bringing his SCV. Look at LaTeGaMe. Did LaTeGaMe really just come in here with an SCV and build a supply depot? And oh, why did he cancel that, man? That was, I guess because he wanted to let his partner Zerglings get in there. This is crazy, man. What is going on? Now he's building a bunker in Power's base. Power is forced to bring off all these SCVs to try and fight. He's got a couple of Marines out now finally. As Power, you can see, was going to be going for Hellions here, but he's got Reapers and Zerglings all over his base, and it looks like he is going to be able to push that back. Wow, that's just barely going to be able to push that back. And more Zerglings are now. This is the proxy bunker that what is that, LaTeGaMe, or that LaTeGaMe was trying to make. More and more Reapers are going to harass this base. So, and actually EarLyGaMe getting some Zerglings trapped back here. These Zerglings are all going to go down, but more are on the way, and he actually is way behind on the Zergling speed. For EarLyGaMe is way behind. So that could be a pretty big factor right now, as, should I mention that again, way behind on the Zergling speed. So it looked like they were going to try, they were basically trying to all in and end the game here, because now Power and Panerai definitely, I'd say, would have the upper hand. But we'll see, because EarLyGaMe does have a large number of Zerglings. The problem is they're so slow right now, and now Power with a couple of Hellions are out. Against Hellions against slow Zerglings. Oh, one Hellion did get surrounded by these super slow Zerglings. So, this Hellion could be getting some free shots there, and is instead going to run away. And Power going to be making some more Hellions here. and forced to leave a couple of Marines back here to deal with the Reaper Rest, though it looks like late game is done worrying about that. And now he is going to be throwing down another factory, and this one with a reactor, so I'm assuming more Hellions. So fight fire with fire here is what late game is going to be doing, and actually getting 2 barracks too. He has a bunker up in the front that's empty, man. Oh! The speed did finally finish for early game, and now these Hellions are getting surrounded, and oh, but now at the last minute, Panerai bringing some of his own Zerglings up here to protect the Hellions, and they were able to fend off that Hellion push from early game. And now the Zerg base in serious jeopardy right now, as look at the Queen positioning though, pretty nice, standing between the minerals so that it can't get surrounded just at the last possible second, but all the drones are going to go down, and that is really bad news. Early game did pump out some Desperation Zerglings, but I don't think it will be enough, as his partner late game went really big on that proxy Reaper rush, but it was so close to working. It almost worked, but it didn't work. So an interesting strategy there, as it looks like Power and Panerai are going to take this game. But pretty exciting. Well, actually, you know, I shouldn't count this game out yet. I shouldn't say it's over, because late game does have a bunch of Hellions, and he does have a bunker here. And these Hellions, well, they all just got totally surrounded. But see, early game has no economy left, and there's actually an Infernal Pre-Igniter on the way for late game. And more Hellions on the way. A ton of damage being done to his base. He's out of all his SCVs are out here fighting, which is all of what, like 5 SCVs plus a mule. So somehow he's able to fend that attack off and stay in this game. So excuse me there. Early game. See, I'm sitting here looking at early game's base and going, how is this game not over right now? Because early game has nothing left. All Panerai needs to do. Oh, catching a bunch of Hellions off guard there, and oh man, even though the Infernal Pre-Igniter was done, the positioning was so bad for the Hellions that now Panerai is going to kill this. There's some pinging going on here. I'm wondering, what is all this pinging about? He's worried about this few Zerglings, but meanwhile, Panerai is just going to say, you know what, screw that. I'm going to go ahead and take out this hatchery to make sure that this is really a 2 versus 1. Because once you've officially made it a 2 versus 1, that is pretty much just a matter of time until the game's over. We will see though. Oh, a couple of nice shots right there from late game. And now he does have the Zerglings from early game assisting his Hellions. As you can see, it looks like the Zerglings are just a tiny bit faster than the Hellions when they do have that metabolic boost. So in case you were being a StarCraft nerd like me and just noticing that or wondering, but it looks like Power getting us some Banshees now, and Banshees will probably be all she wrote, because late game will have no answer to that. But as for right now, some Hellions with Infernal Pre-Igniter are torching up Power's Hellions, and oh man, Infernal Pre-Igniter Hellions versus non-Infernal Pre-Igniter Hellions. That's a little bit one-sided, and now these Hellions are just going to start shooting a hatchery, which is pretty inefficient, but there is a spine crawler in the back here for Panerai that's going to help protect this mineral line quite a bit, because when there are spine crawlers back there, Hellions will not be able to do very much. What he could do, though, is just sort of sacrifice some hits on the Hellions and go for the drones, because there is only one spine crawl in here, and that is exactly, it looks like that's exactly what he's going to do. Just go ahead and take a couple of hits on the Hellions from the one spine crawler and try and kill as many drones as you can before all the rest of the spine crawlers finish. And now he will probably not be able to do much more to this base except for kill the second hatchery, while Power goes ahead and builds up. And it looks like the Banshee did make it into the main of late game, and just Banshee micro right now to keep him alive, as there are a few Marines in here. So gotta be careful, and it doesn't look like a cloak is on the way or anything. Late game actually throwing a missile turret down here. Pretty good positioning, but so annoying if the Banshee is microed properly, because he will probably be able to shoot SCVs and stuff over here. And oh, so annoying, so annoying, so annoying if you're late game. But if you're Power, you're just like, yeah, what up? I'm just totally owning you with Banshee micro. And if you're not careful, man, he's going to just sit here and shoot supply duo. That is so frustrating. if you are late game. But he's again sending more and more Hellions up here. Gonna come up here. But there's not much he can do. I mean, I've said this already, but he can kill this second hatchery. But it's not like Panerai even needs that second hatchery anymore because he's lost so many drones. He's been trying to rebuild those. But these 4 spine crawlers are gonna completely seal the mineral line, and oh, the Marauders have made it out. There's no slow yet, I guess, on the Marauders. It's almost finished. So what he's going to do is set up a wall at the base here, and as soon as that slow finishes, you're going to see those Marauders just annihilate these Hellions. And that will probably be enough to get a GG out of late game, because really it's just a matter of time at this point, and actually the Hellions are just going to go, we can't get out of this base anyway, we're just going to run in here and try and shoot some drones, and it's not going to work. So, pretty much all that has to happen now is Power needs to push out with his full force, and this game will be over, as he was doing enough mineral line harassment with his Banshee to put late game on the back foot. And so actually he was trying to throw down Gamancer. It looks like the SCV building that did get killed. And here we go. Power is pushing out. He's got a Banshee, a couple of Hellions, and a whole bunch of Marauders. And the Marauders do have stim and concussive shells, so that is going to be huge. These Marines, on the other hand, do not have combat shield, do not have stim. Stim actually is going to be coming out soon, but not soon enough. It looks like a little bit too late, as the Marauder stim and the Banshee support is going to annihilate all these Marines, and now the SCVs are forced to fight, and late game is going to leave the game, and early game gives the GG I sucks call and left the game. So this game was sent to me by Power. Thank you, Power, for sending me this game. It was definitely a pleasure to cast. Pretty exciting, especially at the beginning. It did get a little drawn out when it seemed like Power and Panerai did have the upper hand, but they just weren't able to finish the job because late game actually played really well. That proxy Reaper harassment there was actually quite effective. I think maybe if he had used it, if he had tried to do a little bit more harassment and less of an all-in push, because I thought that was awesome though. When he came up, he brought his SCV up and actually completed the wall off for Power by throwing his own supply depot down here so that Panerai can get his Zerglings in to help defend. So that was really interesting. The play didn't actually work out though, but a very interesting strategy nonetheless, and possibly a counter to the fast Hellion build of Terran would be the fast Reaper. So perhaps we'll be seeing some more of that in the future, and so that is going to be it for me. Thank you guys for watching. Thumbs up my vids if you like the commentary and stuff, because I'm really having a blast doing this, and more thumbs up means more people want to watch my stuff, and that would be awesome. So thanks for watching. This is Irie StarCraft, and peace out.